Welcome to my channel. It's Ifeoluwa Olusanya, just like you know. And today we will be talking about what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to do with your life? This is a question almost everyone asks themselves. It is also a question I don't believe you should bother asking yourself in the first place. You should just be able to do a thing at a time and know within yourself if you really want to do this particular thing you're doing or not. I want us to know that our passion changes and evolves as time passes. There's a particular lie about being born with talents and interests. This isn't exactly true, as you can get to find out what you love as time goes past. You should also be aware that it isn't so easy combining what you love doing and your profession together. It only gets sweeter if what you love doing is your profession. Exactly. There's nothing that could be sweeter than that. You don't necessarily have to start with the dream or in a garage. It doesn't even have to start with an innovative epiphany like Google, Amazon, and the rest. You only have to begin right where you are. You should take to note that small steps matter. One thing you should put at heart is placing your focus and getting to know more. Be curious for knowledge. Instead of waiting totally for your interests to produce your income, get 1,001 ways to get better at it. Of course, at some point, it will surely pay you. The bridge between your passion and making it a profession isn't one that should be hastily crossed. It's a step by step thing. It is taken step by step. So, you should put in mind that patience is something that is very, very vital. It matters a lot. It's an ingredient in building your interest into a way of income. It sure isn't a straight plan. For example, some people study biology, but then they end up being professionals in the construction of estates. This is because it isn't a straight path. There are a lot of ways to make your passion into profession. For instance, look for 1,001 reasons why you want it to be a success. You probably will lack the patience because you don't have the motivation yet. The drive isn't there, and it's understandable, but you have to search for it and place it there. This could mean talking to people that have been there before or on their way there, or even reading about them if you don't have the opportunity to meet them in person. Whichever way, just make sure you're on your way there. Next, you have to build a foundation. You have to build on the foundation you have already laid. Make out the best version of yourself. Then you should avoid distractions. This could be a very major setback. You also shouldn't spend lavishly, especially when you know that you need this to invest in your passion. Create a passion that adds value. You need to transform your developing passions into a skill that can fulfill human needs. Some passions are actually easy to translate. For instance, if you have interests in computers, you could become a software engineer, software designer, software analyst. Some are way more difficult. For example, if your passion is in poetry, you could you could find it difficult in creating your income from it because it's not exactly a need. But whichever way, you just have to find a way around it. So, make sure to monetize this value that you have. It's understandable that monetizing value isn't easy. It requires that you have to learn how to market, sell yourself, and to find ways to connect human needs. Whether you need to work in a job or own a business makes no difference. You're the CEO of your life, so you need to know how to connect your passions with serving other people. Back to the question now. What do you want to do with your life? Your life doesn't need to go through a predictable story arc. It doesn't have to start with a dream. It doesn't have to begin in a garage. You just have to follow through hard work and end up in a nice home with 4 bedrooms. Instead, you can also twist it and travel around the world. You don't have to stick to a spot. You don't have to be glued to a particular plan. You don't have to follow a straight path. You don't have to follow just one rigid setup or timetable. You don't have to know the final answer. You just need to act on the next step.